Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is our LinkedIn call from immigration.com. The law offices of Rajiv as Khanna PC. I'm Rajiv. We are doing calls every Thursday. One Thursday, we do a conference call on our own conference bridge, and one Thursday, we try to do it on LinkedIn audio, which is what we are doing today. So let me pull people up and try to answer as many questions as I can in about 1 hour. Let's see. Allowed to speak. I'm just pulling people in as I see them in the order I see you. If I'm not able to pull you up, it's probably because you have not given your microphone permission to be used by LinkedIn. I see Ravina. I've talked to her before. Okay. Let's see. Just pulling in as many people as I can, and then we'll get started. Just allow me a moment. Keep yourselves muted, please, before the turn comes to talk. Okay. Let's start with the people that we have up here. In the order that I see you, Dubala Jagdish. Dubalaji, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Rajivji. So I believe the first H1, this year I attempted one H1 lottery for my company, but unfortunately my H1 was not picked. So the June 30, the documentation deadline was over. So when do you think, or when you can expect the second lottery results might open? And I had another follow-up question. You can see this year there are, 60% duplicates. If they do a second round, I think again there will be duplicates will be picked up, right? Whether USCIS take any action to get only the single applicants get an advantage on it?
Okay, so there is the practical answer, and there is the theoretical answer, and then there's the real answer. Let me start with the real answer. I have no idea what they are going to do. That's the real answer. Okay, the practical answer is, in today's world of databases, to pick duplicates, it takes one query, which probably takes about 10 seconds on a massive database to run. 10, 15 seconds. Okay, so why should they not pick up duplicates and send out notices of intent to deny even before something is done? However, that may not be the way it works, and maybe they will do a round of lottery. I hope within this month. That would be my guess, in the month of July. Now, also remember, was it a year or two ago when we had 2 rounds of follow-up lotteries, not just one? So there's nothing stopping them from running a second round of lottery in case they are not able to dedupe a lot of the people in this round. So we'll see how it works out. Okay?
Thank you. Thanks,
You're
Raj.
welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Just put yourself down once you're done. Okay, Suhas Ji. Suhas Chitiki. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Hi, Rajiv. I am actually working remotely on OPT right now, and I was hoping to travel to the EU region and work there for around a month or 45 days. Would that cause me any problem during immigration?
No.
Should I mention that I was working outside the country, or should I tell them that I was just on vacation?
Okay, so that's something you should talk to your DSO about. Okay, because in the coming academic session, the rules are changing. The COVID flexibility is gone. So talk to your DSO. The way the law works, as I recall, so normally the time you're actually working is counted towards your OPT, and the time you are not working is not counted unless it is the normal holidays or vacations. Okay, so let's say that your employer gives 3 weeks vacation, paid or unpaid, every year. Then those 3 weeks don't go into your 90-day or 60-day, whatever time period you are in. So bottom line, talk with your DSO. I certainly think it should be possible. As to exactly what the fallout of that would be, it depends upon what DSO says. What if 2 weeks are normal and then the other 2 weeks go towards your 90 or your 60-day period? No big deal. You can make that work. Not a big problem. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck, sir. Put yourself down. Yeah, just take yourself down. Vivek Dikshit, go ahead, please.
Hello, Rajiv ji. My question is a two-part question. I am on an H1B and I have got the stamping done on my visa as well. I recently got laid off from my job. I have about 30 days of grace period left at this point.
जी.
So my question is, what are some of the safe routes that I can take in order to buy more time to search for a job? And the second part of the question is, in a worst case scenario that I do have to exit the US, can I return in case if I do find a job from India, and can I come back to the US to work after that?
Okay, so share this with as many people as you can. I think these are all important sets of questions and they are very common these days. I have covered them many times before, but I'll cover them again. First of all, B1, B2 is a good way to go. If you go to our website, immigration.com, and you go to my blog, about fourth entry from the top in the blog tells you how to apply for B1, B2, what kind of cover letter you should put, and what kind of areas of contention that you should cover, how you were laid off unexpectedly and you're in your grace period and you have enough money to support yourself and that you will not be working without authorization, etc. You cover those points, okay? So B1, B2 is a good way, but it's also one of the stupidest things the USCIS has put in front of us. Why? Because normally you can only ask for 6 months, okay? So if I apply today, I can ask for, let's say, end December. However, it takes them longer than 6 months to decide the case. So that means your case is never going to be approved. Okay? That means if you end up having more than 6 months wait time, you must file a second B1, B2 while the first one is still pending, like a bridge petition. So if you asked from July to December, maybe mid-December or early December, you should file another B1, B2. Now let's leave that aside for a moment. What happens if your grace period has expired, you found another job, and you want to convert back to H1B? No big deal. You might have to step outside USA. If you have an existing visa stamp, you come back with that visa stamp, and there's another section of Law 222G. I don't want to make things too confusing, but chances are that it should work fine. Old visa, new approval, as long as the visa is unexpired, when you return, you should get the full 3 years on your I-94. So even if the B1, B2 is pending, no big deal. The second option is to actually have to go and get a visa stamp, and you can go to any of the neighboring countries. You could go to Canada, Mexico, Costa Rica, Jamaica, Bahamas, any of the countries where there's an early appointment available, okay? So to summarize what I've told you so far, B1, B2 is a good option, but if you stay on B1, B2, you might have to do it at least twice. If the B1, B2 is still pending, you get an H1B, you might have to step outside, come back with an existing visa or a new visa. Now, let me see what other questions. Oh yeah, if I go to India, what happens then? First of all, for the next 6 years, you're not subject to the H1B lottery if you're already out of the lottery problem. Okay, you're on H1B, lottery is out, no more a problem. So if you go to India and find a job year and a half down the line, you just get an H1B approval, H1B visa stamp, and you come back. I think I answered all your questions, Vivekji.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Komal Vij, go ahead, please.
Hi, good afternoon. So my question is, right now I am on my OPT first year. So can I start any startup here and then apply on that company based I can apply green card? Or the second question in this is, if I open any startup, right? It should be related to my master's or with the background I studied here.
Okay, so let's parse those questions one by one. Let's begin with the easy one first. Can you start your own business on OPT first year? Yes, you can, as long as it is directly related to your major. So let's say your major was computer science and you started a business which is providing, I don't know, a no-code API to ChatGPT. Okay, so that's your business. Now that's directly related to your major. I would say there should not be a problem, right? But the problem is you have a limited amount of time. What happens when that time is come and gone? Now you are facing the STEM OPT, which cannot be without an employer-employee relationship, and that would be difficult to do for your own company. Okay. But what if you owned, even though you own 51% of the stock, you have a 49% stockholder with you, and you have a board of directors who can fire you? Maybe there's an employer-employee relationship. Okay. Now, there's a lot of complication here, but it's not illegal. So under certain circumstances, you might be able to continue with your own company and actually get an H1B for your own company also. But the problem is the interpretation that the State Department puts on this situation is different than the USCIS. USCIS will approve the H1B in all probability, but if you travel outside USA, the consulate will not let you come back. The third question you asked was, can I do a green card for my own company? And the answer is no. The only way you can do that, unfortunately, just telling by your name, you are probably India born. And if you are married, you're probably married to an Indian person, India born person. Your green card time is too long, and there's no easy way to get a green card when you own the company. Okay. If you had an EB1A type situation where you were godlike qualified person, that would change things. But if you are an ordinary human being like I am, you would have to go through the PERM process, in which you cannot have any stock in the company who sponsors you. So the situation for OPT, H1B, and green card, all three are different. Understand?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Sai Smaran?
Hi Rajiv ji, thanks for doing this.
Of course, my pleasure.
So I'm on F1. I am waiting for my first time OPT approval, and my proposed start date on my I-20 is this coming Monday. And I have not received any approval from USCIS, nor the card, obviously. And as I know, there are rumors going around that it's late, they have a card manufacturing delay. I actually filed a congressional inquiry and got some more information. They don't have any card delays. They're making the cards in-house apparently, but I've still not received anything from USCIS, and there's nothing on the website as well. So I have a job offer which starts in the end of July almost, and I'm not sure what I do at this point. Like, there's the premium processing option, or should I wait for USCIS to actually send it, because I don't want to pay money after the case is approved.
Sai, you don't have an EAD approval yet, right? That's still pending? Or do you have an approval but not the card?
No, I don't have the approval at all.
Okay. So I think premium processing makes sense for you, Sai.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Good luck, sir.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Hi, Ravina. What's up?
Hello, Rajiv ji. So I have a question. I submitted an application to USCIS for change of status to B2, and I consulted with one of your team members also. My case was rejected due to payment error. I by mistake filed I-539A form, but I did not have any dependents. I filled in with my information only. So as per the suggestion, I refiled it. But the only doubt that I have is that when I refiled, I was not on the 60-day grace period. But when I initially filed, I was on 60-day grace period. So how does it affect like my staying in the United States?
Yeah, this is a very dangerous situation. Because what happens is, on the day your 60-day period ended, if you are still in the United States, you start accruing unlawful presence, which means technically you are deportable. Okay. And on top of that, if you stay for 180 days past your status expiration, then you cannot come back for 3 years. And if you stay past 1 year, then you cannot come back for 10 years. 310 bar. Okay. So the practical solution is, of course, the government could have forgiven that, but they are not known for the quality of their mercy usually. Okay. So what I would recommend is, because it is too late, even though it's a technical problem, but this is the burden you have to bear. It's still, you are stuck with it. So I would start making plans to leave the United States and come back with an H1B visa. Keep looking for jobs. That's what I would recommend. You don't have to leave
Okay.
right away, but leave whenever you can, the earliest you can. Keep an eye on the 180-day period. Okay.
Okay, and since the initial application was within the 60-day period,
Yeah, I don't
and
think
the
that helps.
refiling
I don't
was
think.
not in that,
Yeah.
so still, like if I get a decision, like I'm expecting a receipt in a week or so. So if they accept the case, then I am good.
Now,
Or
that doesn't mean
what happens?
anything. That doesn't mean anything. They'll accept any case pretty
Okay.
much that has been filed with the filing fee in a situation like this. Just because
Okay.
the case was accepted does not mean you've been forgiven.
Oh, okay.
Okay? But not a big
Okay.
deal. You'll be all right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck. Rehanji, go ahead.
Hey, hi Rajiv.
Hello.
So my H1B got picked this year, and like my status will change from F1 to H1B on 1st of October. And in November mid, I have like my H1B appointment back in India. And in like next month, I'm gonna like change my address, even though it's like within the 50-mile radius from my current address. I just wanted to know, do I need to like file an amendment for address change, or like am I like good just with the R11 form, or how?
When they filed your H1B, did they file it as working from home remotely, or are you working at a client site or a
Yeah, it's like a remote location.
remote
So
location?
basically from my
Okay.
home. Yeah.
Okay. So normally, when the relocation is within normal commuting distance, an amendment is not needed, but I would recommend you redo the LCA. Just tell your lawyers to redo the LCA. That's what normally I would recommend. Even that is not
Okay.
needed, it's not required, but I think it's the smart thing to do.
Okay, fine.
All right.
I'll do
You're
that.
fine. Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Sachin, I'm trying to pull you up, but I can't somehow. It keeps failing. And one of the things that you can do, Sachin, is make sure that you have given LinkedIn system permission to use your speaker, etc., or your microphone, etc. And if not, just log out and log back in. I'll look for you. I'll pull you up once you've done that. Let me try one more time to pull you up. Sachin. Nope, can't do it. You're just stuck where you are. All right, let me go on to the others. I see Khan Saab, Nazim. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Rajiv. This is Nazim. I have a question about my younger brother. He was on H1B with Amazon full-time employee, and unfortunately, he got laid off from his work in December last year. And within keeping 60 days mind, we found another consultancy who can file his H1B transfer.
Okay.
And they did transfer his H1B on before 60 days, and I don't know, because of the consultancy, he couldn't find new project. So the consultancy is backing off now, and he got RFE on his case. And in the May, and he has time till July, end of the July, to respond the RFE, but the consultancy is not willing to do his RFE response. So in that case, does he get the should we get withdraw the H1B from this consultancy, and he can go on CPD, day one CPD after this?
Okay, so Nazim, let's take a step back for just one moment. I want to make sure I understand the situation. So your brother was already on H1B. That means he's not subject to the lottery any longer. Okay.
Right.
However, his 60-day grace period is over now, right?
Right.
Okay. So that means we can't have him apply for a B1, B2, or even a student status because he's already out of status. Well, he will be out of status once the H1B is denied or revoked or withdrawn. Okay? So right now he's not out of status. So I think what makes sense to me is to plan to depart from the United States and then come back once another H1B is approved. That's what I would recommend. If it were my brother, that's what I would tell him.
But his F1 visa is still valid because he graduated and he got a full-time opportunity with Amazon in very beginning.
Right. But when he converted from F1 to H1B, his service would have been closed.
Right.
Okay. So I'm not sure what he convert back to an F1. I don't think so, because he would be considered to be out of status. We can talk to his school. I don't think they can just revive his service in these circumstances. I doubt it. Okay? I think going out is the only option that makes sense.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir. Good luck.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yashas, go ahead, please. Yashas.
Namaste, Rajiv ji.
Namaste, sir. Mm-hmm.
So I'm currently on an H4 dependent visa.
Mm-hmm.
My wife has not applied for her EB1A yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I-140 is not approved, so I can't get H4 EAD. I have 3 questions, sir. I'll try to make it as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I registered a company previously when I was in the US, and then I left for a brief period of time, and then I came back after I got married.
Mm-hmm.
But I've registered a company. My first question is, can I run the company without any restrictions on H4? Can I accept seed funding and investor money?
Mm-hmm.
My second question is, can I accept equity and work for a different company? Friend also has a company without accepting any salary.
Mm-hmm.
And my third question is, should I just wait for my wife's EP1A application to be accepted and then pursue these interests?
Okay. So let's begin with the first question. On H4, can you run a company? No. Can you accept seed money? It's like running a company. I doubt it. So is it better for you? That's the third question. Is it better for you to wait for your wife's I-140 approval? Absolutely. And the middle question, which was the final question, can I volunteer my time for a company that my friend owns? And the answer is, you can, but the company cannot have you do that. Okay. This is what I want you to do, Yashas. When you hang up here, just, do you have a piece of paper or a pen or something to take notes with?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Write down Fair Labor Standards Act, FAIR, fair. Yeah, is it fair? Fair. I'm getting confused. Is it FARE or FAIR? No, fair. Yeah, FAIR. So FAIR, Fair Labor Standards Act, internships. Okay. When you do that, you'll come across a Department of Labor document, very easy to read. It basically says this: for-profit employers cannot take free work unless that work is for the benefit of the person who's working. So, for example, if you come to our office as a law firm and you say, I'm a law student, I want to work with you, I cannot use you and abuse you to do free work for me, unless I have a program designed for you so that you can learn what you need to learn. And if some work happens as an incident to your working with me, but the primary focus of the program is your training, it's not legal for a for-profit employer to take free work. So look into that. But as far as you are concerned, can you volunteer? Sure. The violation is on the part of the employer, not you. Got it?
Yes, sir. So can they give me equity in return for my work?
That's illegal.
No. Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Meghna ji, your turn.
Hello, sir. Thank you for doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I'll jump right to my question with a little background.
Ji.
I am a PhD student in a university that offers day 1 CPT, but I'm not working right now.
Mm-hmm.
I already did 2 masters, and since my H1 didn't get picked in all of those years, I enrolled in the PhD.
Mm-hmm.
My F1 visa stamp on my passport expired in 2020, and I wish to travel to India again to visit my family, which means I'll have to apply for F1 visa extension.
Mm-hmm.
Now my question is it risky to travel since I'm enrolled in a college that offers day 1 CPT, even if I'm not working?
Yeah, I think it's risky because it's not because you're enrolled in day 1 CPT, because you've been a student too long. Okay.
Okay.
The consulate could look upon that as an unfavorable factor And Meghnaji, it is impossible for a human being to predict the nature of or the outcome of visa issues. Nobody can tell
Of
you for
course.
sure. But if you are at peace with the idea that you could be denied, then by all means. If you are not at peace, then FaceTime and WhatsApp is your best friend to meet with your family.
Understood. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. Yeah, actually, let me go to Sachin because he was the one who was first in the line. Hi, Sachin. Go ahead, please.
So I have three questions.
Mm-hmm.
My this was my last attempt for H1B lottery,
Mm-hmm.
and it was not picked up this time.
Achha.
So my first question is, will we be having a second lottery this time?
I
And
hope so.
second,
I hope so. I think the chances are good. Second question.
yeah, the second question was, my visa F1 visa is expiring in the end of October, but I have my EAD until January 31st of 2024. So, will my visa have any relation to my EAD or my stay in US?
It does not. Your stay in the United States is governed by you maintaining your status, not your visa.
Okay. And my third question was, the company I'm working with, the lawyer firm from there has suggested a way out to apply for a Canadian visa that takes around 6 months for approval. So, should I be doing that at this point of time?
You know, it's unethical for me to comment about the laws of a jurisdiction where I'm not admitted. I can, if I were not a lawyer, I could have commented about what I already know, but that's really not ethical. So, unless you talk to a Canadian lawyer and figure out what the Canadian side of things are, US lawyers should not be giving you advice about Canadian law. Okay? Good luck, Sachin. All right. Take care, sir. Let's go to Gagan. Gagan, go ahead, please.
Hey, Rajiv. Thank you so much for doing this.
Of course.
So Gagan this side. So I'm currently situated in Bangalore.
Mm-hmm.
So my fiance is working in the US and she's on L1A.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am obviously pursuing my company. I want to stay at the same firm.
Mhm.
They have offices in the US. I'm asking them to apply for L1A or L1B depending upon my role and what they see would be the best fit,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Meanwhile, they did imply that me going to the US, right, on dependent visa would be much easier process for them to get me a job.
Actually,
right?
hold on. Hold on 1 second.
Right.
I love the idea of coming on an L2 because you get an EAD. That
Right.
employment authorization is open market. That means you can work for one employer, two employers, 10 employers, not work, or even start your own business.
Right. Agreed. But however, considering that the times have always been uncertain this entire year, right?
Mhm.
Considering that my company is willing to get me a job on L2, and considering I've been working here since last 3 years, is it possible for me to change status from L2 to L1 anytime in the future?
Absolutely. Just remember one thing, you have a time limit. You can't take
Okay.
forever. But let's say you
Mhm.
come in on L2 and then a year
Mhm.
later convert to L1, no problem.
Okay. It should be like within 3 years, I believe, right?
Yeah, it has to be within 3 years because what happens is it's actually not within 3 years. I think 2 years. Why? Because you have to have been employed fully 1 year outside the
Mhm.
United States for a branch of your company. So the 3
Right.
years, it's probably 2 years, right? Because when you come in and
Right.
if you apply in 3 years, you wouldn't have been working 1 year for that company. It has to be within the
Right.
past 3 years. Do the math. I'm
Right.
very bad in math. Don't ask
Right.
my.
No, thank you so much, Rajiv. That was only my question. It was like a
Yeah.
gray area. I
Yeah.
had no documentation
Yeah.
regarding this. So,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Rakshit, go ahead, please. Rakshit.
Hello, Rajivji.
Hello, sir.
I have a question regarding my wife. So she's actually converting from H4 to F1 currently.
Mhm.
She's in India for F1 stamping, and she got a stamping done for University A. But due to some personal reasons, we are planning to change the university to another one.
Mhm.
So what what are the steps that she needs to take? Like, for example, should she enter the US first on whichever stamp, the F1 stamp she has got, and
Yeah.
then convert it here?
Yeah.
Or
Rakshit, from what I remember, and I think you can double check this, but with your DSO. But what I remember is the first time you enter the United States on a student visa, the name of the university and the I-20 from the university should be the same. So in other words, you must be coming to join the school for which you got the visa stamp. But once you are here, whatever time limit, I mean, I don't think there's a time limit. If you want to change universities, no problem. So the answer, first time you enter, you must be entering for the university whose name appears on the visa stamp.
Okay. So, like, she can enter now within that the 30-day period, and then before the start of the class, she can maybe transfer her service to the new university and start.
To the best of my knowledge, yes, that's the way it can be. Double check with your DSO. I don't think that should be a problem. It's just the first time entry that's the problem.
Yeah, and the follow-up question to this is, should she get a new stamp if she has changed the university whenever she travels back? And travels out of the US?
She'll be able to use, if she enters, let's say there are two universities, X and Y. If the first time she enters with the I-20 of X and the visa stamping of X, and then she changes to University Y, she can travel the next time with the old visa of the University X, but the new I-20 of University Y, no problem.
Got it. And does that have any future impact for her in terms of, like, let's say, H1 RFEs? Nothing like that.
No impact, Rakshit. You worry too much. Chill out.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Rajiv.
You're welcome. Take care, sir. Hiren Kumar, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Rajiv, for giving me the opportunity. I'm asking for my wife. She entered as an H4 and then she converted into the F1. She's about to graduate in the December. So, and if she goes India, she needs to get the stamping for F1.
Yes.
So can we plan before she gets the OPT, and she will graduate in December, but she will get the OPT in Feb. So can we plan in between that period?
Okay. So, but, okay, no, this is very confusing. Let me just, okay. Let me just make sure I understand what you asked me. She came to the United States on an H4. Then she did a change of status to F1. Now your question is, before she starts the OPT, can we travel and come back? But when she comes back, she will be on H4 again. Okay? If she doesn't apply for an F1, she'll be on H4 again. It doesn't make sense to depend upon an F1 visa stamping. It may or may not work out. So if I were you, I would consider postponing my F1 travel plan or travel plan while on OPT until the OPT is done. Because the visa could be denied, then you would be coming on H4, then you don't have OPT anymore.
Okay, so it's better to have the OPT first and then travel.
Exactly. No, hang on. If you travel on OPT, then you still need a visa stamp. Okay. I think visa stamp is probably available. She might be able to get it. But F1 visas are always uncertain. You never know. Of course, before OPT, it is even more dangerous. But after OPT, it is a little less dangerous, but same problem. If the F1 visa is denied, she comes on H4, she no longer has OPT. Is your I-140 already done, Hiren?
No, it's in progress.
Because I was thinking of the other.
It will take like at least it will take, I think, 1.5 years.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, travel has the inherent risk of the visa denial, then you don't have OPT.
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck. Jayashri ji, go ahead, please.
Hello, Rajiv ji. Thank you for hosting this. Actually, I have a few questions.
Yes,
I got laid off in the month of May 2022 this year, right? I have only 60 days left, but Deloitte gave me severance pay of 1 month. So my first question is basically, so will the severance pay of 1 month does count in the 60 days of H1B?
And is it your entire salary, or are they giving you reduced salary?
No, the entire salary they are giving bi-weekly basis.
Okay. So if we look at what the USCIS said on their website as their policy statement, they said we count 60 days grace period to begin when the pay period ends, not when you stopped working.
Oh, okay, got it. So the severance pay does count, right?
I would say it does, because that's what it means. I mean, whether you call it severance or regular pay, as long as you're getting paid the full amount, that's pay.
Okay, but they have mentioned, in
I don't think that
separate.
matters. They can mention what they want. It is still full pay. I would argue that's good enough.
Okay, got it. Say for example, to be conservative, right? I'm in the, kind of 2 weeks left for my grace period to get over, but still I have one offer pending, right? So can I get converted to H4 and then apply for H1B with that company? Can I do that?
Sure, you can. No problem.
Oh, okay. So one more question is basically, if the status is H4 pending, can the company apply for a H1B? Like, is the pending status valid to be?
They can apply, Jayashree, but it's the same problem as a B1, B2 pending. When it's pending and you're outside the 60 days, you may have to travel out, get a visa stamp, and come back after the H1B approval. Not the end of the world.
Okay, got it.
All right.
So if I want to be in the United States, so I need to wait when it got approved and then get converted to H4, or I withdraw the for status that is pending.
They will not give you status from status pending. They will give you status from status approved only.
Oh, okay. So I cannot withdraw the H4 that is pending, right?
No, you can always withdraw it, but when they approve the H1B, they'll say, here is the H1B approval. Now go get a visa stamp and come back. You can withdraw the H4. That is not the issue. The issue is, can you get an H1 status back without having to leave the US? And the answer is yes, but only if the H4 is already approved.
Oh, if not, if that is in the pending status, I need to get out of the country and then get stamped and then come back, right?
That is precisely the way it works. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Shaurya Srivastava.
Hi, Rajiv. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, my case is slightly unconventional. So I just graduated from college back in India, and I'm joining a consulting firm this year in August, tentatively. And, I just wanted to explore living in the US. So just wanted to, come here for getting a transfer from the same firm to their US offices. But then, as far as the L1 visa is concerned, correct me if I'm wrong, that I need to work minimum 1 year with the same firm, and then I become eligible for joining them in the US. Is that right?
That is correct. And you must be working either as a specialized knowledge employee, which is L1B, or an executive or managerial level employee, which is L1A. Not just any kind of employee. It's some particular fields or particular focuses.
All right. Okay. So my next question is, I was also researching about this visa called the J1 visa. So I understand that, there are a contractual position, J1 visa can be issued for a contract as opposed to a full-time position. So I was considering maybe pitching to my employer so as to, convert my offer from a full-time one to that of a contract for about 18 months or whatever time period is there on the J1. And then, maybe coming on that visa. So do you think that's a viable path?
No, not really. I think it's complicated. I think it's overly complicated. First of all, you have to make sure the J1 does not have something called 212E as in elephant, 212E requirement, which would then require you to go back to your home country for 2 years. Okay.
The 212 after the J1 period ends, right?
Yeah. And the second problem is, let's say you were working with Boston Consulting Group. Boston cannot apply for your J1 directly because they have to be authorized to issue J1s, just like schools have to be authorized to issue F1, I-20, okay? So they'll have to work with a private company who's already authorized to issue J1s, and then that company will place you to work there. It's kind of complicated, and there's no guarantee you will get a J1. L1 is very difficult to deny. J1 is very easy to deny.
All right.
Okay,
that's pretty complicated, And my third and final question is regarding the H1B. So, I take it that there might be a second lottery this year. for the H1B, but I haven't actually filed my original one before, and so I was wondering if it's possible for me to do the paperwork and all of that process now.
No.
For the second
No,
lottery.
no. They won't allow new entrants in the second lottery. It's only existing entrants.
Got it. So the closest window I have is the next lottery in 2024, right?
Either that or look at the quota exempt jobs.
Right. And about that, since it's a consulting firm, so they do work with I take it that H1B cap exempt is for non-profits and healthcare based.
Shaurya, without spending too much time on this, just to give you a line of thought, it isn't the employer that has to be quota exempt. It is the job that is quota exempt. So, for example, let's say your company, the consulting group, has a contract with National Institutes of Health, which is a federal research organization, where they provide database support, and you work from there as a database administrator. Even though the employer is for profit, the job is quota exempt. Okay.
Alright, so in this case, it is possible to get an H1B cap exempt, right?
Absolutely. So I'm giving you a line of thought. This requires a fairly long discussion of covering all the points, but that's the bottom line. Right. It's certainly worth looking into. Okay.
Sure. So maybe I can get in touch with you
or their lawyers. I mean, I'll be happy to provide you a consultation, but you can even talk to their own lawyers. I mean, that's not a problem.
Right. I'll get in touch with them. Sure. Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you. I really appreciate the.
You're welcome. Good luck. Ankit, go ahead, please. Ankit ji.
Hello, Rajiv. So my wife got laid off. She was on H1, and she has like less than 40 days to find another job. I have I-140 approved on EB2, and my question is, so it is similar to someone already asked us that she got 30 days of severance, and she received her last paycheck like few days ago, but it was like everything together, like so 30 days. 60 days are counted from the day she receives her last paycheck, or
not for the last date she receives her paycheck, but the last date of the paycheck period that paycheck covers.
Okay. All right, I see. And another question is, so last time when she entered to US, her passport was expiring in like 1 year. So it was September 23. This year. So she on I-94 on admit until date, she has that date. Now she has already renewed her passport. So can we go to like a CBP office to any airport and update I-94, or she has to like go out and
go out and come back? So she can just, even if it's a 2-hour trip to Mexico or Canada, she can do that.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck, sir. Okay, let's see who was the next person I pulled up. Pooja was the next person. Pooja ji, go ahead, please.
Hey, Rajiv ji, thank you for holding one of these sessions.
Of course.
So I had a question regarding my parents' B1, B2 visa. A little bit history behind that is like me and my sister, both of us are in US. And last couple of years, we tried to file their visa, and both times it got rejected, saying possible immigration or possible immigrant.
Yeah.
So this time when I'm filing back again, we were having a question regarding the sponsorship. Does that matter that who is sponsoring their visa in these cases? Like,
well, hold on. Pooja ji, let me
Mhm.
back you up 1 minute. Okay, first of all, when it's a tourist visa, there's no such thing as a sponsorship. Okay, tourist visa is given on the strength of the application, not on the strength of the person giving an affidavit of support. Because an affidavit of support is not a requirement of the tourist visa. Okay, the consulate can even, of course, they can say, well, go get an affidavit of support. In that case, affidavit of support coming from whoever is making more money would be great. Okay, so first place, affidavit of support is not required. In the second, whoever is making more money is better, but those are not the only criteria. There are other criteria. Has the consulate asked them for a affidavit of support?
No, they haven't.
Yeah, so don't assume that they will. It's not required.
Okay, so it wouldn't matter if I mean, last two cases, I just said like they will be sponsoring their own visa, like just you know for the trip sponsorship. So it wouldn't matter this time if I keep the same setting and not change it. Like I am the one who is sponsoring their trip.
It shouldn't matter. Because this idea that there needs to be a sponsor is a mistaken idea. No such need. But if you are doing it, fine. Go ahead and do it. Doesn't hurt.
Okay. All
right. Good luck.
Thank you. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Aniket ji. Aniket Kalka.
Hey, Rajiv.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. Thanks so much for this session. So I was just curious, it was my third H1B attempt this year, and again, it did get picked. So I was exploring a few options, and I think people had already raised this. So regarding cap exempt employers. So I was just curious, is there and it might depend on the employers as well, but is there a specific period for which you need to work for a cap exempt employer or that employer?
No.
They can, before they can file, or they can directly?
Not at all. So the cap exempt employer can apply for your H1B today and you can get it next week. Okay. There is no lottery. There's no waiting. Now, let's say you work with them 6-8 months and then, or even 3 months, and you get another quota exempt employer to apply. Can you change? Sure. Can you change multiple times? Sure. But if you want to work for a quota employer, then it gets complicated. You can have a concurrent H1 with a quota employer while working for a non-quota employer. Okay. I don't want to confuse you.
And
that's very complicated as it goes. It's a silly little loophole in the law, but that's the way it works. However, if you want to go to completely quota job and quit the quota exempt employer, you have to go through the lottery process.
Okay, gotcha. And in this case of a cap exempt employer, so the rest of the, let's say in future, if they want to, sponsor my green card, so all of the other processes remain the same.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely the same. We do tons of these cases.
Perfect. Yeah, that was my only concern. Thank you so much.
No worries. Good luck. Dheeraj Vijay.
Hello, Rajiv ji.
Hello, sir.
I have a question. I am on H1B with employer A, and that expires on September 30th this year. And I have a transfer approved for employer B, and I'm going to join that company. So my spouse has a travel plan right now, and she'll be back on August 30th. That means 30 days ahead from the expiries. Can she travel back on August end?
Yeah, I don't see any problem. So you're concerned about two issues. One, she's coming back just 30 days before her visa expires. And two, you are in between jobs or you're changing jobs. Yeah, that's perfectly okay. No problem. Both of them are okay.
Okay. If employer A revokes its visas also, it's fine, right?
Yeah. She has a visa stamp. She's good to go. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Good luck. Good luck. Bharat Raghunath ji.
Yeah, hi Rajiv. Thank you for this session. So I wanted to ask my question. So I'm on OPT. My OPT just started 1 month back. So are we allowed to form a company? I know that you answered this, and the answer is yes. So, but my main question is: are we allowed to employ other people who are on OPT?
Absolutely.
Get them to
absolutely.
To get them to help us in our this thing. Do we need to show it somewhere or? So the company is already open and it's registered. But I wanted to know are there any other legalities we need to take into consideration before
you just have
giving them?
You just have one major hurdle. After 1 year, you won't have a work authorization, so you should be able to pass the baton on to somebody else.
Okay.
Other than that, there is no limitation.
But can we hold stake in that and ask somebody else to continue it?
That's passive ownership is always acceptable. You should listen to some of our frequently asked questions. You to go to immigration.com, our website, review some of the frequently asked questions. Passive investment is okay, or passive ownership is okay. You just can't actively manage the company.
Okay, so and in terms of hiring, we are allowed to hire anyone?
Yeah, I already answered that question. Okay, good luck.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anshul Jain.
Hello, Mr. Rajiv ji. I was eagerly waiting for your session.
Yes, sir.
And my question is regarding name change. To give you a bit of context about myself, I am on F1 visa and I'm currently on STEM OPT. My employer has filed for H1B application, not application for the lottery, but I did not get picked, and my passport is due renewal next year, January. And I wanted to correct my name, rather split my name. Currently, my Indian passport says my first name is Anshul Jain and I do not have a last name. But per my F1 visa, my first name is FNU and my last name is Anshul Jain. I just wanted to correct it from the Indian embassy. My first name is Anshul and my last name is Jain. So should I get my visa re-stamped?
Okay.
What are the other things I need to follow up? I spoke to my DSO.
Yeah, so hold on. Let me back you up a little bit. I was going to write an article on this because this gets asked so many times. I just haven't had the time to do so. I've been too busy playing with artificial intelligence and quantum computing and all the fun stuff. I just got sort of sidetracked into it. It's just so fascinating. But I was going to write an article. Since you are here, let me tell you what I think you should do. First of all, name change has several components that you need to address. Okay, can you get your visa changed? You cannot. If you change your name and you want to get it stamped, you'll have to get a new visa stamping just like you did the first time. Okay, so how would I manage this? First of all, I don't know what the Indian side rules are. If the India side takes care of your passport correction, then what I would recommend, Jain Saab, is this. You contact your local court system, okay, and find out what the procedure for name change through the courts is. Normally, you don't need a lawyer for this, okay. I don't know which state you live in, nor can I comment about state laws. You can just go ahead and check with the local. You can do it right now. It's normally it's a good procedure, easy procedure. Just make you advertise once or twice, and then the court issues a formal order changing your name. Now that is great to carry with you. So let's say now you have a corrected passport, you have the court order. You can, next time when you file an H1B, you can file with a copy of the court order and request that the name be changed now in the next approval. In the meantime, if you need to travel, because you have a court order and you have a passport with the old name or with the new name, it's actually all connected. The court order connects you from the old name to the new name, and therefore there should be no problem traveling. So step 1, correct your passport. Step 2, get a correction done through the court system, okay, and then carry it along. Every time you apply for the next immigration document, just use your new name, not the old name. Simple. Okay.
Okay, so when you say court system, you mean the Indian court system or the US?
No, US courts. US courts.
Okay, all right.
All right. Good luck.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Ayappa. I think you are a repeat customer. I've seen you before. How are you? Ayappa? Ayappa K. Where'd you go, man?
Hey, Rajiv ji.
Hello,
sorry, had some technical issues. Sorry. Thank you.
No worries.
Yeah. No, this is the first time
Achha,
on the call.
You look familiar somehow. Anyhow, hello to you. How can I help?
Thank you so much for doing this, Rajiv ji. So my question is that currently, I'm on my F1 OPT. Unfortunately, my H1B didn't get picked this year, which is my last attempt. So my company would be moving me to Canada, and they would be bringing me back on L1. Probably take some time, but my question is that I'm planning to get married next year. So probably when I move to Canada. So I have this question where my fiance, if she's moved with me to Canada and back to US on dependent visa on L1B, so she can work in both the countries, or is it better for her to do masters in US so that she can maintain her own status, or if something happens to
Ayappa
me,
ji, I don't know anything about the Canadian laws, and even if I did, I wouldn't be able to comment on it. So you need to figure out on the Canadian side what happens. US side, you have a question, I'm the guy you want to ask.
Okay, sure, Rajiv ji.
All right.
Yeah, so what would be like, okay, let's forget that she working in Canada. Like suppose she comes back to US like within like 15 months or whatever, like when I move back to on L1 and she can work too. So is it a good option for her to explore the master option so that she can maintain her own visa status? Or if something happens on me, like a layoff or whatever, I can convert my visa status to dependent whatever visa she's
I
holding.
think if your concern is security, then the
Right.
F1 for her makes sense.
Sure, Rajiv.
All right.
Okay. And one more question, Rajiv. Like, is it possible for me to apply B1, B2 while holding F1 OPT?
Is it possible for me while holding
B2?
No.
Yeah.
No. I'm a little confused with that question. When you say I, you mean your wife?
No, me. Currently, I'm on F1 OPT.
Ah.
So, like, suppose she would be studying here, doing a master's, or I'll be in Canada. So, if I want to visit her,
Oh, yes, absolutely. But just remember, any number of days you are in the United States will be added on to your 1 year outside USA. So the requirement for L1 is, let's say, 366 days out of US. Okay?
Right.
But out of those 366 days, if you visited 10 days in the United States, you have to spend extra 10 days outside US.
Oh, I see. Okay. Makes sense. So in that case, is it okay to apply B2 when I'm still in US on F1 OPT, or I have to?
You have to do it outside US.
Okay. Got
All
it.
right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Rajiv.
Good
Thank
luck. Shujat Baksh.
Hi. Thank you, Rajiv ji, for doing this. It's really helpful. And your answers are very, very good, precise, and what I'm looking for. So, actually, I am here for one of my close friends. He's very dear to me. So, and his father passed away, and he's visiting India right now. The complexity in the situation is that he couldn't get his H1, so he moved on to day one CPT, right? And now we're planning to, have him back here. But the problem there is, I wanted to make sure that we have our bases covered. Is that he has got a new admission, he's got everything going on for him, and fortunately, he also has an unexpired F1 visa. He had to get it renewed while he was enrolled in the first masters. So I wanted to make sure about two things. Number one is that okay? Is the F1 tied to the institution, or is Severance ID, or do we need to get a new stamp?
Yeah, he should be able to. He should be able to use that stamp. Have him check with his DSO. Is there any other issue that he needs to be concerned about with his service entries and all? But as a matter of principle, that same visa should be okay.
The problem is the DSO is not responding. We've tried reaching out to them a couple times. We haven't been able to get a response. So, we'll keep trying. That was my first response, my first idea.
Yeah. Just make sure there's no problem with the service. Otherwise, the same visa should be okay.
As far as I know, service is good. It's transferred, and he has also been authorized for the CPT.
One thing you can do is you can call SEVIP directly also. They always respond.
Oh, SEVP? Okay.
Yeah, they're wonderful. That's one of the two agencies that I always like talking to because they give good answers. SEVIP and CBP both give good answers.
Actually, I think the second answer is for CBP question, actually. So, do you think there might be issues while he's trying to enter the US due to the whole second master situation?
It can be, Shujat ji, it's so difficult to predict that. Kuch bhi ho sakta hai, you know how it is. So,
yeah,
that's something I can't predict, but you might be aware of the option of immigration pre-clearance in Abu Dhabi or Ireland, so he doesn't have to fly all the way to USA and then go back all the way. That's up to you guys, but certainly immigration can be cleared in Europe or Abu Dhabi.
Okay. And just in case, if we are attempting, what do we want to make sure we have at hand for the CB for our case to be?
Just tell the truth, whatever the truth is. झूठ मत बोलेगा, because
Okay.
if you get caught in a lie, it's a permanent bar. I just did a consultation for a young man who got involved with that company Integra, and I had to give him the very sad news. There's nothing I can do for him. He's going to be permanently barred from the US because he was caught in a lie. Okay, and there's not a thing I can do, not a thing anybody can do for him, not even the President of the United States.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah, they don't like that, I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the way it is.
Alright.
So just don't tell a lie, and if you tell the truth and your entry is denied, you still have other options like an H1B. But if you get caught in a lie, it's a permanent bar from entering the US. Don't ever do that. Okay?
Okay, gotcha.
Good
All
luck,
right.
Shujat.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir. Bye-bye. Deepak Sahu, you look like a repeat customer. I don't know what's happening with me. I think you guys are beginning to look familiar. Everybody's looking the same as I am. Deepak?
Yeah, namaste Rajiv. Yes, I am. This is the second time I'm.
Oh, good. That's why I thought you
Yeah.
were. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Namaste Rajiv ji.
Namaste,
And
bhai.
thanks for doing this.
Ji.
My question is, so last time I joined it because of my, the degree was, not conferred to me, and that got resolved. And
Deepak ji, ek
I'm
second.
here.
Let me do this just to make sure that. Okay, guys. Right now we have 23 people in the lineup. What I'll do is I was planning for only 1 hour, but we're almost close to the 1 hour already. Anik just joined us. So I will finish my calls today at Anik Desai. I think it's going to take me a little bit longer than 1 hour, but that's okay. So the last person I'll be answering questions to would be Anik Desai. He's the last person I see in the lineup. Sorry, please keep going, Sahu Sahab.
हाँ ठीक है हाँ राजीव जी तो so my question is now this year my H1B got picked up and I have received my I-797 approval notice with the starting date October 1st and I-94. So like one of the company they wanted me to offer a job and it's better than like where I'm currently working. So when I can switch to that company?
Okay, so I've answered this question many times, and according to me, if your H1B is not revoked before October 1st or before the start date of your H1B, you should be able to switch employers even before October 1st. Okay. The problem here is the revocation before October 1st, not the change of employers. However, there are lawyers. I've heard my colleagues say, no, you must at least work for the sponsoring employer for 1 day on October 1st, on or after October 1st. I disagree. I think you can change any time as long as your H1B is not revoked before October 1st. Okay?
Okay.
Anything else?
Yeah, so other question is like, can I travel to India and return back before October 1st? Like currently I'm in F1 OPT visa with the
Is
EAD.
your H1B already approved? You have it in hand?
Yes, I do have. No, I do have I-797 approval notice.
Yeah. Okay. So you can visit India and come back before October 1st. No problem.
Okay. There won't be any issue.
No issue.
Like I don't have to go through. Okay.
No issue. All right.
All righty. Thank you very much, Rajiv ji.
You're welcome, sir. Good luck.
Dhanyawad.
My pleasure. Saujanya ji, go ahead. Saujanya Mettu.
Yeah, hi. My question. I have two questions. My first question is currently I'm a first year. Currently I'm maintaining my first year OPT, and it's going to be expired on August 8th. And I have applied my STEM OPT extension, but I didn't get any approval from USCIS. So what are your suggestions that should I apply for premium process or should I wait until July?
That's the only option I see, ma'am. Premium processing.
Premium process, it is the better option.
That's the best I can tell.
And my second question, it is completely different from the first question. So the company currently which I'm working on, it has the other branch in EU, and I want to ask my company to go there and work for 2 years and come back US and apply for E1B. My question is that I just started my career as currently I'm working on OPT. Is it, am I eligible for E1B visa after 2 years working in EU?
I don't know what E1B visa is. You probably are asking about L1A visa. If you're asking about some visas in the European Union, I don't know anything about it. But if
No.
L1 visa,
Yes.
you should talk with the lawyers that represent the company. They can best answer that question. I doubt it. Entry-level jobs are not amenable to L1 visas.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
Good luck. Okay, I'm reminding
Thank
people.
you.
Yeah, ma'am. The last person I'll be taking today will be Anik Desai. Pearldeep, Priyanti, Ahmad, I'll not be able to take your questions today, guys. I was not planning for this long a session, but since we are here, I'll try to do my best, but I can't just keep extending it indefinitely. Sorry, guys. Diksha, go ahead, please.
Hi Rajiv ji, thank you for having this. So I'm on F1 visa. So I'm on F1 STEM OPT visa currently, and I joined employer A while I was on my initial OPT. Employer A filed my STEM extension and I got the approval. Before like my initial OPT was expiring on 27th of June, and I got the approval. And I joined employer B on 26th of June, and I resigned from that position yesterday. So technically, I worked for 6 days, and now the employer B is not ready to sign final evaluation. Final evaluation which we need to take from the employers in the I-983 form. So my question is, if they deny and if they don't give me the final evaluation signature, what consequences will I be facing? And my DSO is aware because my DSO has sent me a mail that I can work for multiple employers. So I have that email from my DSO.
Yeah.
So yeah, in this case, what are my consequences?
Yeah, but
like if they deny for the
but ma'am,
signature?
983s have to be completed by all employers, even though you're working for multiple employers. So I am not aware of any regulatory guidance on this issue. But obviously, if the employer is not doing it, you have to connect with your DSO. You have to file the 983 with whatever you have, at least an explanation that you are trying, but the employer is not helping.
Yeah, he has signed the I-983 first when I joined.
Yeah.
But because I resigned within a week, he's pissed off and he denied taking the signing my final evaluation because I left within a week.
So yeah, I understand. The bottom line is, I do not know of any answer in the regulations to this question. However, the 983 must be submitted. Talk to your DSO and let them know. Why don't we just write an explanation of what we tried to do and the employer is not helping? So take the 983 on the record anyway. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Rajiv.
You're welcome.
That's the only question I had.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Prateek ji, go ahead. Prateek Kumbre.
Hello, Rajiv ji.
Hello,
Can you
sir.
hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I have 4 short questions. I graduated in May and I put in 1st June as my OPT start date, but I haven't received any approval status. So I want to know when will my clock start, the 3-month clock.
You have not received the approval. So the 90 days, 3 months, I mean, you are on first year OPT, STEM OPT?
First year OPT.
First year OPT. When does the unemployment clock begin, right?
Yeah.
I don't see how it would begin before approval, right?
There
was an area of the law that we were all concerned about. There's no clear answers on that. What happens if your card production is delayed so much that because first the approval comes, then the card production does, right?
Yeah.
So there was also another area that we were not sure about. Will they give approval from the date you asked for or the date they approved the case? Okay. So
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
From what I have seen from my friend's experience,
right.
Even if we put in an earlier date such as 1st June, the day the OPT starts is when the card gets authorized from USCIS.
Mhm. Yeah, they did not used to do that. This happened in 2021 when they settled the litigation, and they said we'll start counting your 90 days only from the date we approve. Okay. So, in my opinion, it all depends upon the date of the approval. Obviously, there can be no 90-day countdown unless you've gotten approval, right? That's what common sense would say. So that's the way I look at it. The problem occurs when there is a huge gap between the approval and the card production. That's where things get tricky. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you are in that situation, the only thing I can think of is a lawsuit. You know, hopefully it won't come to that. But let's see, one thing at a time. I mean, obviously, until the case gets approved, we don't know what is the date of approval.
Okay. And another question I had is, so I have an offer letter for a part-time opportunity, but the thing is I'm waiting for a better opportunity, and that is why I haven't like notified Sevis or whatever. So my DSO told me that it is okay to backdate. I mean, in OPT, we can say that, we got the offer letter earlier. But the thing is, I didn't start working from the day whenever my OPT gets approved, right? So how will it work? Can I tell them that, yes, I had the offer letter, and then I would accumulate no unemployment days?
No, I don't think it's the regulations are. They never thought about such delayed card production and approval dates. So I think the 90 days still begins from the date the approval occurs. Okay. But I think there is a good case to be made. Just take it to court if you have to. Okay. That's the only thing I can tell you. All right.
Okay. And just another short question. My passport is due to expire in December. So does that create any complications with my onboarding or anything else?
Well, obviously they can't use the passport as an ID past December. So get it renewed and get it done on an expedited basis.
Okay.
All right.
And I heard from the earlier discussion that STEM OPT does not allow to start our own company. Is that true?
That is true. You have to have an employer-employee relationship.
Okay. Right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck. Okay, so A. Shah, I'm trying to pull you up. A. Shah, but I can't. So you might want to log out and log back in. I tried to pull you up. I couldn't. All right. So going back to who was next? Pushpa Medireddy.
Hi, sir. My question is for my husband. Actually, he's working for university and currently he's on H1B cap exempt visa. And his organization will file I-40 in December under EB2 category. So my query is, if approved and in the future, if he wish to change his employment from the non-profit organization to profit organization, can he do that?
He still has to go through the lottery, Pushpaji.
Okay, again, even after I-40 is I-140.
Yeah, I-140 doesn't exempt you from the lottery.
Okay. Is it possible to move without affecting green card application?
No. Your green card application will have to be started again.
Okay.
But you'll carry your priority date with you.
Okay.
All right.
So in this case, he's like stuck in camp exempt employment till green card is approved.
Or
right?
till he goes to the H1B lottery.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
Good luck.
That answers my question. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Jean-Paul?
Hi, sir.
Hello,
Thank
sir.
you very much for this session. I have a couple of questions. I'm on H1 visa, and once I traveled outside the country and got the stamping done, but recently there was a change in the location, and right now if I travel outside the country, I would need a stamping. So my brother lives in Canada, and I'm planning
Hold on, John. Let me take you back for a moment.
Sure.
You already have an H1B visa stamp on your passport?
Yes, I do.
When
but
does-
that was before my
Okay.
location was
Well,
changed.
One second, sir. When does that expire?
20. I think it already expired.
Okay. If it's already expired, then you have to get stamping again. Stamping is not required just because of a location change. Stamping is required because your stamp has expired. Okay. So there's a non-causal relationship between what you said and what the facts are. So you have to get a stamping done because the stamping has expired. Now, go back to your question. What were you asking me?
Yeah, so my brother lives in Canada, and I'm planning to visit him in August.
Yeah.
So as this would be my second visa stamping, I was wondering if I can get the stamping done in Canada because the dates
Sure.
are
But it's taking a long time in Canada. Did you check the wait times?
It's around 10 days.
So that's not too bad. But there are two categories: interview required and interview waived. So what about the interview required category? That's about 86 days.
I was checking for interview waive because I was told I can go for Dropbox as its second stamping.
Not so sure what the local rules are and because can you do Dropbox in third countries? I do not know for sure. So double check that. If that can be done, sure, go for it. Why not? Stamping can be done in any country in the world.
Okay. And the other question I have is, I know that even without stamping, I can visit Canada and come back within 30 days.
Yeah, if it is within 30 days, yes, it's called automatic visa revalidation.
Yeah, let's say I go for stamping and for some reason it's not successful. And if it's within that 30-day period, can I travel back or based on that 30-day
no
option?
The 30-day period is available only if you do not apply for a visa and get rejected.
Okay. And you're saying if my visa stamping is not expired, I can just travel and come back even if the location has changed?
Yeah, as long as you did an H1B amendment through the USCIS, you can use the same visa.
Yes. There was an H1B amendment and that is valid until 2024, some month, I don't remember.
Absolutely, no problem at all.
Okay, one last question. This is unrelated to my case, but you're mentioning about some visa. You're answering somebody else about some visa that gives flexibility between switching companies, something like an open work permit. I know that in Canada, but I missed the context. Can you repeat what that
the question was, should I come on L1 or L2? Because L1 gives you work authorization to work for a specific employer. L2 gives you the work authorization to work for anyone, including your own business.
Got it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
You too, sir. Shubham, go ahead. Shubham Singh.
Good afternoon, Rajiv ji. Thank you so much for doing this session.
My pleasure.
The question I have is I'm on first year OPT and I'm planning to visit India. And my the first year OPT is valid till first week of February next year. So when should I apply for the extension? I will be visiting India in November. So I'll be coming back by first week of December.
When should I apply for the visa stamping?
No, extension of the 24 months OPT stamp.
Oh, I have it written down on my blog somewhere. If you go to immigration.com and second or third page of my blog, there is a mind map on what the requirements are for each stage of the travel. When you have applied for OPT, not approved yet. When you applied for STEM OPT, not approved yet. When you applied for H1B, not approved yet. All of these stages are covered. Take a look at that because I don't remember off the top of my head what I have said in those maps.
Okay.
Right? Take a look at that, and if that's not clear, just come and look me up next Thursday. We'll be talking again anyway.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck, sir.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Mohit Yadav, go ahead, please.
Hi Rajiv, thank you so much for hearing this. So I don't have a question, but it's a piece of advice that I want from you based upon your experience. So let me give you a background about myself. I just graduated last month. I got my OPT approved and received the card yesterday. And from the coming Monday, I'm starting my job with a non-profitable healthcare organization that is CAP exempt, and they're happy sponsoring my visa. So I wanted to ask, since I just graduated and I have 3 years of OPT chances, like the lottery chances with me, would you recommend getting an H1B visa cap exempt right now and look, or that is option one, or the option two is look for jobs that has a cap? So the reason I'm asking this is because I'm skeptical about the cap exempt because it applies a very big filter, and I'll also lose my remaining STEM period.
That's a difficult question to answer because there are pros and cons that are beyond the scope of discussion here. It depends upon, this is my personal opinion is that it depends upon how much you like this company that you're going to work for. So if I were you, what I would do is I would start work there, see how much I like the environment. Okay. If you like where you work, I would stick with them and start my green card. Tell them to start my green card right away. Okay. And then I would continue working, finish my OPT. In the meantime, keep applying for H1B lottery through another employer that I like if I want to. But my green card is also going on. That way I have all the bases covered. That's the way I would look at it.
So just to be sure, so you said I'll start the process of green card, but to start the process of green card, I need to get the H1B first. Is that correct?
No, that's not correct. That's incorrect. So if you Google my name, Rajiv as Khanna against the Economic Times, you'll run into a short comment about 800 words from me on the Economic Times, how you can directly apply for a green card, limitations, pros and cons. Okay?
Okay. Got it. Perfect. And secondly, I wanted to come on this call as an opportunity to network with individuals who have gotten a concurrent visa or have transferred from a cap exempt to cap visa. So if there are any, please ping me here on my profile. I would really appreciate that. And thank you so much, Rajiv, again.
Of course. My pleasure, Mohit. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Jagdish, go ahead, please. Jagdish Arapali.
Hello, Rajiv ji. Thank you for doing this. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
So, my question is, my uncle, my mom's own brother, has been in US for quite a while now, and he got his green card approved like in a year and a half ago. So, his question is there any way that he could sponsor me for the green card? So, if it is,
No.
what's the way?
No. If he wants to lend you $1,050,000, yes. Otherwise, no.
Okay, got you, sir.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sai Charan Guram, go ahead, please. Sai Charan.
Hi, Rajiv. So I have two different questions. So currently I'm in initial OPT, first year of my OPT. So can I accept an equity from a company as a second employer in my first year of OPT?
Yes, you can.
So it's like it's not exactly related to my degree.
So as long as you're not working for them, you're just getting equity. I don't see any problem with that.
I will be working.
Yeah, then you can't. Obviously, you have to stay in your own major.
Okay.
All right.
So it's like so the question related to this, like, so am I eligible to start a company or like join some
I already covered that
company
question. I covered that question in great detail earlier. If you have not heard, just wait for the recording to come out in the next couple of days. Bottom line, you have to stick to your own major no matter what you do. But I have more on this, so just wait for the recording. Okay.
Okay. So the second question is like regarding the H1Bs. This is the story of one of my friends. So he was little greedy and went on applying an H1B from three employers. So one is of genuine employer and two of them companies were consultancies. but they are all three different employers.
Mhm.
No one is interacted with other.
Mhm.
So the problem is, but later we have realized that the consultancies, without his consent,
Mhm.
they have applied for multiple applications.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I think there is a problem created here where he could have trouble. This is not something I can cover in the few minutes we have here. Tell him to talk to a lawyer he trusts. If he wants to make a consultation appointment with me, he can. Um, Normally, I don't suggest applying for an H1B if you have applied through multiple companies, and whether you know it or not, and they have applied through multiple sources with you, it's very difficult for you to prove that they did it without your consent or knowledge. So that gets complicated. Okay?
So the
Sir?
the related question is, so the H1B haven't picked up. The
Okay.
problem is in the second lottery, which we are going to get in the
Right.
second time.
Mhm.
The problem is, first suppose if he got his H1B picked up by the genuine full time company
Mhm.
and haven't got picked up from the consultee,
Right.
is that an issue
So
in the
yeah,
long
it's the
long
same
of
problem.
life?
It's the same problem. He's got multiple entries. He's gonna have difficulty with that. Not something I can cover in the few minutes we have here. Okay, keep moving. Let's go on. Tell him to talk to me directly. All right.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you, Raj.
You're welcome. Anuj Agarwal, go ahead, please.
Namaskar, Rajiv ji.
Namaskar, sir.
This question is for my wife.
Mhm.
She's on F1 STEM OPT visa, which is going to expire in September 2024.
Mhm.
So she has not been picked up in the first 2 years of her lottery, and so I mean the third chance is the only chance which she is left with. But I have an I-140 approved. So do you suggest that should I start her H4 EAD process now?
Anuj,
like this
एक सेकंड आपका I-140 is already approved?
हाँ जी.
Any chance you need to do an H1B amendment extension, anything like that? Please.
So my H1B is currently stamped as valid until December 2024.
Okay. Any change in the job? Because what I'm thinking is you could bundle the applications and premium process. That way she gets her H4, H4 EAD, everything within a few weeks.
Okay.
Okay. Talk to your lawyers, see if there is any possibility of doing an H1B amendment. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Good luck.
Thanks.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Rajiv.
Rahul Patel, please. Rahul? Rahul, if you are talking, we can't hear you. Okay, I'll leave you hanging there for a moment. Anirudh, go ahead, please. Anirudh Ranade? I wonder. Oh,
Hi,
okay.
Rajiv ji.
Hello, sir.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Just go ahead, please.
Okay. Thank you for hosting these sessions. These are really informative.
Mhm.
I have two questions.
Mhm.
One is for my friend.
Mhm.
So, if so, my friend is on her initial OPT,
Mhm.
and there are chances that there might be an offer made
Mhm.
for internship, full time, paid 40 hours,
Mhm.
and if that offer, if my friend takes that offer,
Mhm.
is it viable for that friend to work on STEM OPT on a full time paid internship?
Why not? I mean, I'm a little confused because this looks like a very simple situation. She is going to
No,
work on STEM OPT. In her own field, the employer is willing to cooperate. They'll give her the prevailing wage. They will sign the 983. I don't see any problem. I mean,
Yeah.
what is the issue? What are you concerned about?
No, because I had heard from my own DSO that they won't allow internship because the offer letter will mention that
Why should
she is
that?
an intern.
I don't think that's an issue. As long as she's getting paid her full wages, whether they call her CEO or intern, how does that matter?
Okay.
I
No,
know.
I wasn't sure. Just so.
नहीं, I'm not sure that
And
देखो उसमें ना there is one tricky little detail. Some schools have a requirement that you can't do internship while you're in certain periods of school, okay, or internship beyond a certain number of hours. That is not to be confused with STEM OPT. I don't see any problem with it.
Okay.
That's just nomenclature. That's just a name, intern or not intern.
Okay.
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 Good luck.
And second question was.
Yeah, one second.
With
One second. Hey guys, I'm not gonna be able to do any more calls except Bala Kamath. Bala, I can't pull you up. You may want to log out and log back in. I've tried. So there's only one person remaining that I'll take in the calls. Everybody else, sorry, next time or next Thursday. Yes, sir. Keep going. Anirudhji?
Okay. So I am currently on my STEM OPT first year. My company applied for my H1. It didn't get picked. Is there any possibility I can apply for a green card directly? Not me, but my company.
Well, they can apply, but the practical benefit of that remains only that you'll be able to get an early priority date. It does not get you your H1B, and it can be a little bothersome if you have to travel or go back to CPT and get a visa stamp, etc. So if you're okay with those minor risks, which can become problematic later on, you can apply for a green card even while you are in school. That's not a problem.
Oh, okay. No, I just had heard, like, even from my own company lawyers, that it is not feasible to apply on before, like, having a H1. It's not feasible to apply for a green card.
That is
even
incorrect.
though I'm on a STEM OPT and
that is incorrect. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you for your clarification.
You're welcome,
Yep,
sir.
thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Let me see Bala can be pulled up or not. Let's try to pull up Bala. Yeah, good. All right. So going back to whom I see next, Anik Desai. Anik ji, go ahead, please.
Hello, sir. This is Bala. Can I still ask you a question?
Yeah, you can. You are already up, but you'll be called the last in this panel. So hold on.
All right, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Anik, go ahead, please. Anik Desai?
Hello. Can
Yes.
you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. Thank you for conducting this. I think you partially answered the question I'm having about filing the green card while on OPT or CPT on student visa. So I think you said we can start the process if company is supporting. But is there an issue we might see in the future, like down the line, companies still applying for the H1 visa?
No, not at all.
Do you think there
Not
might be
at
a
all.
problem of RFE?
Not at all. H1B is a dual intent visa. You are allowed to have a green card going. The only problem is if you need to continue on student visa for some reason, and you need to get a visa stamp, or Customs and Border Protection at the airport gives you hassles. Those are the only issues. Other than that, it's absolutely no problem. H1B, no issue at all. Okay.
So even if my, let's say green card process is going on, and then later on after a couple of years, I get picked into the lottery for
No
H1B,
problem. No problem.
and I travel back to India and go for stamping, still no issue?
No issue.
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck. Rahul Patel, can you try again, Rahulji?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Sir, I have finished my bachelor's here in 2021. Right now I'm on STEM OPT and it's valid till May 2024. I have applied multiple like H1B last year, this year, no luck. My question is that what's the legal option I have? Is it like can I enroll back in the school and reapplying for H1B?
A lot of people are doing that, curricular practical training. Only thing I recommend is that pick a degree that enhances and it's logically enhancing your career. That's the only thing I would recommend. But CPT is certainly an option. Why not?
Okay, so the question is, sir, like if I apply for the school, right? So my OPT expired in May 2024. Do I need to do like summer classes or do I need to do for the fall? Like there is a gap period of 3 months, right? Like in August it will start like fall.
You have to check with your DSOs what they recommend. If your service is being rolled over, I think you're entitled to a summer vacation. Double check with your DSO. I do not know the answer to that question. Sorry.
Okay, the follow-up question on that, and for example, if the H1B picked next year, and again my stamp OPT expired in May 2024, so at the time, like till October, is it okay or?
Not sure I understand your question.
So,
You're
so
saying there's a gap between your STEM expiring and your H1B beginning? That's what you're saying?
Yes.
If it is after, if your STEM OPT expires on or after April 1st or the date you apply for an H1B, you should be okay. Okay. So if you're applying in June, your OPT should expire after June. When are you applying? When does your OPT end? STEM OPT end?
May 2024.
Yeah, so
like
that's
15.
something you need to talk with your lawyers. It's still possible to make that deadline and have you covered by cap extension.
Okay.
So that you continue working.
The last question is that my passport is expiring next year as well. So should I apply for renewal right now? Is there any problem?
Yeah. Check with the Indian consulate. I think they I don't know for sure. India is not my field of action, but I think you can apply as much as 1 year ahead. So just ask them.
And the last question, I'm a partner, like a passive partner with my brother's company, like 49%. So is it okay on the STEM OPT?
If you're not working for the company, why not? That's just stock ownership.
Okay, yeah. I'm not working. Like I'm a passive co-partner.
Yeah, I think you should be okay.
All right. Thank you, Rajiv.
You're welcome. Good luck. Okay, Muhammad Hasib.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rajiv. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm well. How are you?
Thank you so much. Good. So my question today is, I'm on H1B visa, which was picked last year, and currently I got unemployed because of non-billable project. So I just want to make sure about my options that I could explore if in any case I'm unable to secure a job within 60 days of grace period. My 60-day grace period is starting as of today. So I've heard about B1 and B2 visa as well. So just want to know a little bit more about that. If I can go on B1, B2 visa, how can we convert back to H1B? Do we have to do
you might not have logged in early enough. I have had this discussion before today. Wait for the recording. And also, I have a fairly, I think, well-rounded article on this issue. Go to immigration.com. On the very top link, there's a ribbon on the very top of the links where you will see a link for Rajiv's blog. Read my blog about 4th or 5th entry. It tells you what happens when you apply for a B1, B2, what kind of documents you should submit, and how do you convert back to H1B. Okay?
Sure.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Nisarga Karnam. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv. Thanks for doing this. So recently I was laid off from my current company last month. And so I graduated in December and I started working for the company exactly on my EAD start date. So my 90 days unemployment days were not run. So after I was laid off, will I have 60 days to find another job or 90 days? Because when I was talking to my company lawyer, they say I have only 60 days.
No, but you are on OPT. You are not on H1B, right?
Yeah, I'm not on H1B. I'm on OPT, STEM OPT.
First year OPT, you are on STEM OPT?
No, first year OPT.
First year OPT, you have 90 days, yes.
90. So it's not 60 days, right?
Yeah, your lawyers may be mistaken. They may have been thinking that you're on H1B. So they are wrong.
Okay, all right. Okay. And my second question is, so I also have a B1, B2 visa. And
that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything.
No, during my consultation with them, they were like, if I have to stop my unemployment days, I can go back and enter on my B1, B2 visa. But
if you try to enter on B1, B2, your chances of getting back in are a little bit less than 50-50 in my opinion.
Okay.
You're better off applying for a change of status within the United States.
So if I apply for a change of status in the United States to the B1, B2 visa, like B1 visa, is it more like, is that better, or going back and coming back is riskier?
Going back is definitely riskier. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Good
Thank
luck.
you so much. Thank you.
Abhiram, please go ahead. Abhiram.
Thanks for doing this. Quick question. So both me and my wife are on separate H1Bs, but unfortunately she got laid off last Friday and she's on her grace period right now. So can she move as a dependent to H4? And later, once she finds a job, let's say after 3 months, can she switch back to her H1?
Absolutely. The only caveat is if the H4 is still pending and she gets an H1B approval, step out, get an H1B visa stamp and come back.
Okay. So right now her I-94 is expiring next year and she already has a stamp right now with the previous employer for the next 3 years.
So then there's no problem. She can use that stamp with the new approval notice. Just step out, come back showing the new approval notice and the old stamp. No problem.
Got it, Rajiv. So this should happen after she receives the new I-797 approval from the new company later?
Yeah, absolutely.
Got it, Rajiv.
Yeah, okay, before I let you go, Abhiram, one quick question. Do you guys see the same order as I do? I see Abhiram first, then Nikita, then Anuj.
Yes.
Same order?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Then Shubham.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Thank you.
Thanks, Rajiv. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nikita, go ahead. Dasoji.
Yes. Hello, Rajiv. So my question is along the same lines what Abhiram asked. So I recently lost my job. Me and my husband have independent H1Bs. The problem with, and I'm in my 60-day grace period. The problem with my case is my H1B is ending in December 2024, and this previous employer of mine, they had already prepared my perm application. They were about to file it, but now they cannot. So what are my options? My husband has his I-140 approved. So do you suggest going on his H4 EAD, applying for my H4 EAD, or still continuing on my H1 itself?
No. Do an H4 EAD. You have more rights. And also, if you bundle it with his H1B amendment extension, etc., you can do it premium processing, get everything approved quickly.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we are planning to do. So another question of mine is, so if I continue on H4 EAD and the company starts my perm process and I get my I-140 approved on H4 EAD, can I come back on my H1
You can come on H1B even before that. But of course, you can definitely come after the I-140 approval. You will get 3-year extension.
Okay, so I can continue my H1, right? And I can keep renewing it also.
Absolutely. Just because you shifted to H4 did not take away your H1. So that right still remains.
Okay, yeah. And let's say if I did continue on my H1, for some reason we are not able to get the H4 EAD, in bundle up, and I still continue on my H1, and further down the line, and the company is, let's say they're willing to file my perm from day one, and in between that process only, like perm processing, my H1 is about to expire. Can I come on H4 EAD and my perm application will still continue?
Yeah, you can then shift to H4 EAD or even H4, and then once the I-140 is approved, you can get H1B extension for 3 years.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, sounds good.
Good luck.
Yeah, those were all my questions. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anuj, go ahead, please. Anuj?
Yeah, hi Rajiv. Thank you for coming up here. Yeah, so I was.
Hang on one second. Hey guys, this is the last panel I'm doing today.
Few minutes,
So I will not be able to do any more calls today. Please, you can see me again next Thursday. I was not planning on an extended time today, but that's okay. We'll just cover this panel, but no more. Sorry. Anuj, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so my question is around F1 visa renewal. I was recently laid off from my company in April, but I'm still like part of the company and employed. My unemployment days have not begun, and they won't begin until August, first week of August. The first week of October. And I'm currently on my STEM OPT extension, but my STEM OPT expires in February of 2025. My F1 visa expires on November 29th of this year. So I'm trying to sort of figure out whether I should renew my visa. I think one of the main requirements.
No. Hang on. If you want to travel, you'll obviously have to renew your visa if you are coming back after the visa expiration. But if you are in the United States, your visa has no relationship with your status.
Right. Yes. My intention is that I would want to travel this year.
Don't know about that. So take a look at that mind map I was talking about on immigration.com. It's about fourth or fifth page. Make sure that you follow the instructions there. You can talk with your DSO. Getting visa restamping done is always unpredictable. There's no way I can tell you it's going to work out. I had somebody who got their student visa denied in the 5th year of their PhD. That can happen too. So, I would be concerned. So if you can avoid it, great. If not, and you have to go absolutely, then, take your chances. If you've gone to good schools, you're a serious student, I think visa stamping should be okay. But there's always that off chance you might not be able to get it.
Right. It doesn't matter if you have a job. I just had misgivings about the stamping. Yeah, like I've heard cases where people
absolutely. This young lady from Rajasthan, she actually ended up finishing her thesis from India because she couldn't. They won't give her a visa. No reason given. She was a classic, one of the Ivy League university on scholarship. There's no reason to deny her. But, luckily we were able to get her an H1B eventually. So that was fine. That worked out. She worked for the university. But, as long as you have an exit plan of some kind, you can take a chance. Otherwise, Anuj, it's always problematic depending upon the tender mercies of the consulate. They have none.
Right, and even if the consulate decides not to approve my F1 visa, I'll be stuck in India, right? I won't be able to return.
You'll be stuck. Okay.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Shubham?
Namaste, Rajiv ji.
Namaste, sir.
So the subject line of my question is the US address. Now the context is I was on H1B visa. I lost my job and I was on grace period and I converted my H1B to B2, like a petition was filed. So I'm in that state. I may get an offer from a company in Chicago. Now, as you mentioned to me last time that, I have to go out of the US and re-enter back. But I want to re-enter back and move to my same address. I'm in Atlanta right now. If the company allows remote work, what precaution do I need to take?
No precaution. Just make sure that the company lawyers know. Because see, H1B attaches to the place you are physically working from. It does not attach to where the employer or the project are located. Okay?
Okay.
No precaution. Perfectly okay.
Okay, and the LC has to mention both the places?
No, it does not have to mention both the places. It has to mention the place where you will be actually sitting down.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Rajiv ji.
Oh, you're welcome, sir. Akshat ji, go ahead.
Hello, Rajiv ji. How are you doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you. My question is, I graduated on 10th of May and my 60-day grace period ends on July 10th. I applied for for my EAD card, but I haven't received any kind of decision from USCIS, whether acceptance or denial. However, if I get a denial, say post July 10th, after my 60-day period ends, do I get a chance to apply for the I-765 form again? Or do I get say a 60-day grace period again, after the denial?
Akshay ji, I answered that question earlier in the discussion. We just don't know what they are going to do. Okay. In 2021, when they got sued in a class action, they said they made certain changes. They said, okay, first of all, we will start counting your 60 days from the date of the approval of the EAD. Number one. Number two, if you end up getting less time than you had due because of the late approval of the card production, we'll give you extra 2 months or 3 months, whatever time you're short. So something like that. They had some accommodations, okay? And this time also you might have to end up taking it to court. And what I was advising people is that if, unfortunately, I'm not geared towards litigations right now. We did a lot during the Trump administration. We had to build a team to do that. But we are very busy with our existing work. I don't like to take on more than I can chew. What I would recommend is that people find groups locally. If there's 5-10 people in one city or one area, and collectively file lawsuits. That way it'll be a lot cheaper. If this ends up happening, just start forming local groups. These lawsuits are best filed usually from the location where the students are. Class actions are a lot more complicated and they tend to take longer time. So if push comes to shove, just take it to court. Okay?
Okay. And my second question is, if I'm shifting somewhere, do I need to report the address change?
Yes, you should always file AR11. Okay, you
Sorry?
can do it online. Form AR11. A as in Apple, R as in Rajiv.
Yeah.
AR11. Just
Yeah.
file it. You have to keep filing it even when you have a green card. You have to keep filing it until you become a US citizen. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck. Hi, Skand. Go ahead.
Oh, hi, Rajiv ji. Thanks for taking my call. I just had a couple of quick questions. Number one, I wanted to find out a little bit about what options I may have for my wife, who's going to be switching to my dependent visa. For context, I'm a physician. I did my training here on a J1 visa, and then I'm currently employed on an O1 PA visa, and she's going to be switching to an O3. Her contract is ending with the World Bank, so she's going to be moving to O3.
Hang on. Skanji, is she on G4?
She is on a G4 visa currently.
Keep going. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. So she's going to be because her contract is ending. She's going to be switching over to my visa. I already have an EB2 NIW approved, and my EB1A petition is currently pending.
Oh, good.
So my question.
Hang on. Let's back you up just a moment more. Are you both born in India?
Both of us are yes, pure blood Indians born in India. Yes.
ठीक है. Okay, so then, all right, so EB1A, that would be the best thing that can happen for you. Okay, what is the next thing?
So the issue is that because my waiver has not yet been issued and is pending with the Department of Health and Human Services, I cannot switch to an H1B. I have to be on an O1.
That's correct.
As a result, she will have to be an O3. And so my question was, number one, is there any mechanism, given that I have an I-140 already approved, for her to get an EAD when she's on an O3, or is that exclusively for H4?
Exclusively for H4.
Okay, got it. Okay. And then the second thing I wanted to sort of just ask was, is there any benefit in getting a premium processing for my EB1A, which has been pending for about 11 months, or it doesn't matter at this point?
I would. I'm filing all my EB1As premium.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll tell you something. An O1 is a good indicator of a successful EB1.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
On top of that, there are very few physician scientists in this country. Your lawyer should hammer the hell out of that point. There is a huge shortage of physician scientists.
Got it. Yeah. It's I think the waiver that has been sort of pending for over 2 years now. And the final thing, if you don't mind me asking.
One second, Skant. 1 second. It may not be a bad idea to contact your local congressman about this.
I did already, Rajiv ji. It just they just stonewalled it, saying that there's a huge backlog, and their estimates on their website were initially 12 to 16 months, and they've gone up to 36 months now, which is sort of why this is becoming a little bit of an issue.
Which city are you located in?
I'm located in Raleigh, North Carolina.
You know, we've received some excellent judgments from North Carolina courts. It may not be out of line to check with a local lawyer to do a delay lawsuit against the government. It's well worth the money.
I see.
It's well worth the money.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Maybe I'll reach out to you offline about that.
Oh, no, I won't be able to assist because we are not geared for litigation right now, like I said. I wish I could do everything. Actually, if I had my life to live over, I'd also do an MD and be an endocrinologist. I think it's fascinating. It's fascinating. I mean, damn.
Yeah. It is a great field for sure.
It is, absolutely. And also, I would be in AI and quantum computing. I'll be doing all sorts of things. But unfortunately, there's only that many hours, and I love law the best of all of these. Going back to what I was saying, talk to local lawyers who are familiar with immigration litigation. Okay? And I think a lawsuit is definitely worth looking into. Go ahead with your last question, Scott.
Yeah, so my last question was my O1 is going to expire a 3-year term in November of this year. And I was told by lawyers that it can only be extended for 1 year at a time. But I had read somewhere that it could be even for 3 years, depending on your specific situation. And just, I don't think I mentioned this, but I work for the federal government for the NIH, which is where I'm sort of continuing to work.
I
don't know if there is any bearing.
I don't remember how I do it. It's in my notes. Drop me an email, okay? Drop me an email to help@immigration.com. Okay? Just send me an email. I'll double check my notes. I don't remember. I think we used to get it for 2 years at a time. But let me double check it.
Okay. Sounds good.
No
Thank you. That was all. Thank you very much.
You are very welcome. Okay, you guys, I was not going to answer any more questions, but there's just 2 of you. Let's just deal with that as well. Come on up. Let's just make sure nobody's left out. That's it. Now this is just the final 2 for sure. Hey, Jaya, I can't pull you up. Why don't you log? Oh, I was able to pull you up. Good. Shiva Prasad ji, go ahead, please. Shiva Prasad, technical leader, TCS, gone. Jaya, go ahead.
Yes, Rajiv. So my question is related to H1B. So currently I'm on H1B visa and lost my job. I'm on 68 days. So I know that I can apply for a B1, B2 visa. So after applying that, so if that's in pending stage, so I can still stay here, right? But my question is more related to what I get in other jobs. So do I have to leave the country and come back again for stamping?
Yeah, I've answered this question several times today. Yes, exactly. That's what you would have to do. Okay. Good luck, Jaya. All right, folks. Shiva, I pulled you up, then you went down again. Let me try again. Okay. Shiva Prasad, go ahead. Shiva Prasad?
Yes, Rajiv ji.
Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, Rajiv ji.
Good afternoon.
Actually, my wife is with H1B and she is continuously working, but I'm on H4 actually. Canada has announced whoever is having the H1B visa holders can apply for 10,000 visas. They are going to actually give it to the people whoever is having the H1B visas. So my wife visa is going to expire on September 2023.
Shivaji, 1 second. If your question is about Canadian laws, the answer is I cannot answer any questions about the laws of Canada. I'm not a Canadian lawyer.
Can you support me for that immigration? Because
on the Canadian,
she's having H1B.
Shivaji, on the Canadian side? No.
Because or else can you help me? Who can I contact for that?
You know what you can do? You can send me an email. One of my colleagues, Heather, has collected a few names of Canadian lawyers that other lawyers have recommended. I don't know any of these people personally, but other immigration lawyers in USA have recommended these lawyers in Canada. You can try contacting those people. Just send me an email, to help@immigration.com. Just say, Rajiv, you were going to send me a list of the Canadian lawyers that you know of.
Yeah, sure, Rajiv. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'll send an email. Thank you
Absolutely.
So much. Thank you.
Very best of luck to you. Folks, always a great pleasure talking to you. Next Thursday on our personal bridge, okay? Good luck.